All right, so, for this deep dive, you've really given me a ton of info to go through
Yeah,
about passive income.
it's a hot topic.
Yeah, we've got articles from Coursera, NerdWallet, Shopify, Investopedia,
Yeah.
even some stuff from Startup Loans,
Yeah.
and the IRS.
It's important to understand the tax implications.
Yeah, and I think you're trying to get a handle on all of the options that are out there right now
For sure.
in 2025 for passive income.
Absolutely.
So I think that our mission here is to really sift through all of this.
Yeah, cut through the noise.
Cut through all the noise and try to find the most interesting
And potentially lucrative.
and lucrative passive income ideas. I think we should cover the basics,
Absolutely.
but also try to find some of the less expected gems in there.
I like that.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, first things first, we have to define passive income.
Right.
You hear people tossing around, these phrases like effortless income
Oh, yeah, for sure.
or, money for nothing.
Right.
But the IRS actually has a very strict definition.
Okay.
And that's really crucial when it comes to taxes.
Yeah, that's a good point right away for anybody listening. Don't just assume that
Right.
just because something is labeled passive, that it actually fits
Exactly.
the IRS criteria.
100%.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you're earning interest from your savings account or dividends from stocks, that's often lumped in with this idea of passive income.
Yeah.
But technically speaking,
Okay.
the IRS doesn't consider that truly passive.
Interesting. So where do we start? If we're looking for
Yeah.
IRS-approved passive income,
Okay.
NerdWallet seems to have a really good breakdown
They do.
of financial investments.
Yeah.
And they start with dividend stocks
Okay.
and funds, emphasizing their potential for both growth and steady income.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is that companies that consistently pay out dividends tend to be very well-established companies.
Oh, okay.
They're financially stable.
So it's not just about the dividend itself, it's about what that dividend signals
Absolutely.
about that company.
It's a sign of financial health.
Yeah?
And then when you reinvest those dividends, you get the magic of compounding,
Okay.
which can lead to significant growth long term.
Got it. So NerdWallet also mentions bonds and bond funds. And it seems like they emphasize the lower risk and predictability,
Yeah.
especially compared to stocks.
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah.
So bonds are essentially loans that you make to a company or government.
Okay.
So you lend them money, and then they promise to pay you back with interest.
That's
so they
right.
tend to be less volatile than stocks.
Yeah.
And that makes them a really good option for people who are seeking a more stable and reliable income stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious about REITs,
Okay.
real estate investment trusts.
Yeah.
They're basically like
Yeah, it's like,
owning a piece of real estate
that's a great way to put it.
without actually having to deal with property management.
Without the hassle of
Yeah.
being a landlord. And
Yeah.
they have a really strong historical performance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great way to tap into the real estate market
Right.
without having to, deal with tenants
Yeah.
and toilets and all that stuff.
Right. But of course, as with any investment,
Of course.
do your research.
Due diligence is key.
Yeah.
Not all REITs are created equal.
All right. So for someone who prioritizes stability and low risk, especially for things like an emergency fund or short-term goals,
Yeah.
NerdWallet points to high-yield savings accounts and CDs.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
interest rates can fluctuate,
Right.
but in the current economic climate,
Yeah.
these are really solid options.
Okay.
So with a high-yield savings account, you earn interest on your deposits, and with a CD,
Okay.
which is a certificate of deposit,
All right.
you lock in your money for a fixed term.
At a fixed interest rate, which is typically higher than what you would get with a regular savings account.
So you're sacrificing flexibility
Right.
for a potentially higher return.
Exactly.
Right.
It's all about choosing what's right for you.
Yeah.
For your financial goals and your risk tolerance.
And your comfort level with risk.
Exactly.
Right. So it seems like things get even more interesting
Yeah.
when we move beyond these kind of traditional financial investments and we go into things like what Investopedia calls the sharing economy.
Yeah. The sharing economy is a hotbed for
Right.
passive income opportunities.
Yeah. And they seem particularly excited
Oh, yeah.
about this idea
For
of
premium
premium space sharing.
sharing. Yeah.
So tell me about that. What is
So
that?
this is where things get really creative.
Okay.
We're not just talking about renting out a spare bedroom here.
Right.
We're talking about monetizing specialized storage, Like, think about a climate-controlled wine cellar or a secure space for art collectors.
Oh, wow.
Even a dedicated closet
Oh,
for designer handbags.
so you're saying if I have space,
If you've got the space,
I can rent it out.
why not?
But I imagine the earning potential really depends on location and demand.
Absolutely. Location, location, location.
Right.
But the key here is that people are increasingly looking for secure and tailored storage solutions.
Yeah.
It's a growing trend that you
yeah.
can capitalize on.
All right, so let's talk about rental properties, both the traditional kind and the Airbnb model.
Yeah.
NerdWallet highlights the pros,
Okay.
things like steady income and potential appreciation. But they also mention the downsides,
Right.
upfront costs, and all the responsibilities of being a landlord.
Yeah. I mean, it can be a lot of work,
Yeah,
but
and it's not just about renting out space, is it?
no, it's not.
We can rent out things.
Things. Exactly.
And this seems to connect with Shopify's focus on e-commerce, where these platforms are making it easier than ever
yeah.
to rent out anything you can think of.
Like tools, vehicles, you name it.
Yeah.
It's a great way to monetize
Yeah.
those underutilized assets.
Absolutely.
And there are potential tax benefits too.
Like what?
Well, you might be able to deduct expenses related to maintenance and depreciation.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah.
so I'm ready for some of those,
Yeah.
unique and niche passive income ideas that we were talking about.
Okay.
What does Investopedia have for us?
Well, they're really highlighting this potential of solar and wind farm leasing,
Oh, wow.
especially in areas with lots of sunshine or consistent wind.
So you're saying you can make money from solar and wind farms without actually owning them.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Basically, you've got the land. Energy companies need suitable locations
Okay.
for their renewable energy projects.
Right.
They handle everything.
Oh, wow.
The installation, the maintenance, the operation.
So I'm literally just providing the space
You got it?
and they take care of the rest.
Yeah, you just lease your land to them
And I get paid.
and collect regular payments.
Wow. I can see why Investopedia is excited about this.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal.
But what's the catch?
Well, of course, there are some things to think about.
Like what?
You'll probably need a good amount of acreage
Okay.
for it to be worthwhile.
Right.
And not all land is suitable.
Right.
You'll need flat, open spaces for solar
Okay.
and consistently windy areas for wind farms.
Got it.
And then you also have to check local zoning regulations.
Okay.
There might be restrictions.
Right.
Or, some people might be concerned about the impact on property values.
So it's not as simple as just owning land and getting rich.
Right.
But if you have the right conditions, it sounds like a pretty hands-off way
Yeah.
to generate some passive income, and you're supporting renewable energy.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I like it.
And, speaking of space,
Yeah.
Investopedia is also really into this idea of specialty vehicle storage.
Oh, okay.
Think like RVs, classic cars,
Oh,
things
yeah.
that need more than just a parking spot.
Right. Those people are really passionate about their vehicles.
Yeah, for sure.
They're probably willing to pay a premium for
Absolutely.
secure storage.
They want the best for their babies.
But is there really that much demand out there?
You'd be surprised.
Okay.
There are tons of people out there with RVs, classic cars, boats.
Okay.
You could have climate-controlled garages for classic cars,
Oh, right.
RV storage with electrical hookups.
Yeah.
You name it.
What kind of money are we talking about?
It really depends.
Yeah.
But you could be looking at a couple $100s a month for basic RV storage,
Uh-huh.
all the way up to $1,000 a month for high-end car storage.
Wow.
So yeah,
Serious passive income.
it is.
And this kind of ties in with that underutilized assets theme that we were talking about earlier. What other examples did they have?
Well, they talked about car wrapping
Okay.
and parking spot rentals.
What's car wrapping?
You basically get paid to drive around with ads on your car.
So I'm turning my car into a billboard.
Pretty much.
Okay. How much can I make from that?
Well, companies like Carvertise,
Yeah.
they say you can make a few $100 a month.
Okay.
But of course, you have to be okay with turning your car
Right.
into a rolling advertisement.
Yeah.
So,
And what about parking spot rentals? I've heard of people renting out their driveways in big cities.
yeah, exactly.
But I always figured it was more of a side hustle.
It can be,
Yeah.
but it really depends on where you live.
Right.
If you're in a really busy area or near a popular spot, you could get a couple $100s a month on average.
Oh, wow.
And there are platforms out there like Spacer that connect you with people who are looking for parking.
So we've covered some pretty outside-the-box ideas. But then Shopify throws this curveball
Yeah.
of selling spreadsheet templates.
Oh, yeah, that one's interesting.
It's not the first thing I think of
Right.
when I think passive income, but it's kind of brilliant.
It is.
It's like taking a really mundane skill, something that a lot of people know how to do,
Right.
and turning it into a product that people will pay for.
Yeah. And the best part is
What's that?
you create the template once,
Yeah.
and then you can sell it over and over again.
Right, with minimal effort.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think we need to take a step back
Okay.
before we get too carried away
Yeah.
and talk about some of the important considerations that Investopedia mentioned,
Yeah, sure.
like this idea of risk versus reward.
Right. Because
Yeah.
passive doesn't always mean easy
Right.
or guaranteed.
Yeah.
A lot of these ventures take some effort up front,
Right.
and there's always a chance that things won't go as planned, especially with things like financial investments.
So it's not about just setting it and forgetting it.
Right.
You got to be informed,
Gotta do your research.
understand the potential risks,
Absolutely.
and be prepared to adapt if you need to.
100%.
What else did Investopedia say?
Well, they emphasize the importance of market research. You got to understand the demand. Research your competition.
Yeah.
Identify any potential challenges you might face.
So don't just jump at the first opportunity that comes along.
Yeah.
Really think about it.
Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a good fit.
And what about taxes?
Oh, yeah. Taxes are a big one.
Yeah.
The IRS has specific rules for passive income, and those rules can change.
Yeah.
So it's always a good idea to talk to a tax professional,
Yeah.
especially if you're dealing with multiple income streams or more complex ventures.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Man, we have covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From dividend stocks to solar farms renting out our closets to designing spreadsheet empires. It's really amazing how many different paths there are to passive income.
Yeah, it is.
Dave.
And that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
There's no one right answer.
Right.
The key is just finding what works for you.
What really stood out to me was how many of these ideas are about
Yeah.
leveraging what we already have.
Yeah. Using your existing.
Like a spare room, a knack for spreadsheets,
Yeah.
some extra space in the garage.
Exactly.
It's like we can look at our assets, our skills
Even our daily routines.
through a different lens.
Yeah. Asking yourself, how can I turn this into a source of income?
Yeah. And it's empowering.
It is.
It challenges how we think about work.
For sure.
And it opens up all these possibilities.
For financial freedom and
Yeah.
flexibility.
And that brings us to, I think, a really crucial question for you, listener.
What's that?
What unique combination of passive income streams could you create to achieve your financial goals?
That's the question.
Yeah, it's like we're building a personalized passive income portfolio,
That's a great way to think about it.
drawing from all of these options.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the money, is it?
Oh, it's not.
It's about designing a lifestyle that reflects your values,
Your aspirations.
where income generation is just part of
Seamlessly integrated.
a life that you love.
Yeah, I like that.
So as you continue exploring these ideas,
Yeah.
keep that bigger picture in mind.
Don't get discouraged. Yeah. If you don't hit a home run right away.
Right. It's a process.
It is a process.
You know,
Embrace the journey.
we're willing to adapt and refine your approach.
Exactly.
Well said.
Thank you.
Happy exploring, listener. And we'll catch you on our next deep dive.
This sounds good.